You can find the video version of this episode at mountaintoppodcast.com/YouTube.
Live from the mist-enshrouded mountaintop fortress that is X and Y Communications headquarters, you're listening to the world-famous Mountaintop Podcast. And now, here's your host, Scott McKay.
All right, gentlemen, welcome again to yet another episode of the world-famous Mountaintop Podcast. As always, I am your host, Scott McKay from X and Y Communications. You can find me all over social media, on Substack, on YouTube, on X, on True Social, at Scott McKay, at Real Scott McKay on Instagram. The Facebook group is the Mountaintop Summit. And guys, if you're not in on the Mountaintop Summit yet, you're not only missing pretty pictures of women in bikinis, you're also missing out on a lot of good, solid talk with real men, just like you, on the topics that matter to us, getting better as men, getting better with women. It's all there for you at the Mountaintop Summit on Facebook. Also, if you haven't visited mountaintoppodcast.com recently, lots of new goodies there for you as well. And speaking of which, I have a returning guest today, my good friend Cindy Oline from Tucson, Arizona, the mad scientist over at Create Your Own Luck and Love. Hey, Cindy, how's it going?
Hi, so good to be here. I always love you.
My old clubhouse buddy.
Yes, we go way back.
This is like the first video.
Right, I know, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And you've been on video with me on my stuff, but
that's a fact.
Yeah, not on yours, so it's so fun. I'm loving it.
Great, awesome. Yeah, well, we're doing video versions of the audio podcast now. So some of these guys will still be listening via audio. Matter of fact, most of them still are. And gentlemen, if you're not checking out the video versions of these shows on YouTube, they're pretty well done. They're pretty pro looking, especially for a guy like me, a Luddite like me, Cindy. I guess luck has nothing to do with it in this case. I'd love to say I'm creating my own luck on YouTube, but luck has nothing to do with it, at least not this far.
No, there's so much there, right? Algorithms, what have you. Anyway.
And plus, I have a great face for podcasting. Maybe you can assist me in that regard with your pretty bad self.
Yes, I can definitely help you. I mean, you do have a great face for podcasting and whatever.
Are you saying you're going to assist me with my face? Is that what you're saying? You give me a makeover? I may be a lost cause, Cindy.
I knew you were going there. No, I can't help you.
Just take the W, Cindy. You look great. You're enhancing the video quality of my podcast by your mere existence, and that's good enough. Yes. Must be that desert air. Got to hydrate.
It is very... Yes, I am keeping hydrating right now because it is super hot here.
Yeah, as we record this, it is the dead of summer, as we used to call it when I lived out there, and lots of daytime activities indoors.
Yes,
in the desert.
It's like going from one AC activity to the next, unless you're at the pool and you're immersed in the pool. But even then, you don't want to do that very long. So
yeah, early morning tennis and pickleball.
Oh, so lovely.
Late evening mountain bike rides.
Yeah, if you can stay up that late after getting up at like 5 a.m. and starting your life, right? You know, it's just better to go to bed at 8.
Couples Netflix and chill as nooners in Tucson in the summer. Yeah. Okay, very good. Here's why we're here today. Not only because it's way overdue for you to be back on the show, of course, but I'm a fly on the wall on your newsletter to women. And you started talking about shapeshifters in the world of dating. And that caught my attention because after 500 episodes, Cindy, I'm all about new and exciting topics that we've never covered before. And that would be it. I've never talked about shape-shifting. The first thing that comes to mind is like the deer lady in Native American culture, you know. Is that what we're talking about here? Are you telling women to become deer ladies?
No.
Dear ladies, be shapeshifters.
No.
Not it? Okay.
It's so interesting. I loved when you wrote me about this topic because I thought, oh my gosh, I could go on for days around this because I've seen it with men and with women. I work with some men, and I usually try to send them over to you, Scott. Most of the men.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes I do. If I can, go to Scott. He's great. But I've noticed this with men and women. It's like the shape shifting becomes almost from a place of, well, what will they like? And I'll become that.
Aha. Trying to cram the square peg in the round hole to try to impress somebody.
Right. But it becomes a whole identity almost, which is kind of, it's like we start chameleoning, can't say the word, but, becoming a chameleon with who we be, which it might be different from person to person. Right?
Well, you know what? If you stay out in the sun too long in Tucson, you'll at least change color like a chameleon.
For sure.
That happens. That's a thing.
Really?
What is the verb version of chameleon? The verb to chameleon. And we are chameleoning.
Chameleoning. Yes.
Yes. Right.
Which means you're shape shifting into what your surroundings are.
I agree with you that this happens all the time. You have a much better way to brand it than I do. Shape shifting is just brilliant branding. Talking about what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, we could go into the alien version. We could go deep into that, side of things. But
please tell me what alien shape-shifting has to do with dating and how we do it. Do we turn into shape-shifting aliens when we're out on dates?
It has nothing to do with that. But
I was hoping for the best there. Can't you just make up something on the fly?
I know. I was thinking about that. I'm like, I'm not as witty as you are, Scott. You're so good. You'd be like, oh, yes. And then it turns into this XYZ thing. And
well, we should run the Witty and Pretty podcast. Then we could kind of make up for our deficits on both sides and maybe have a hit.
We could work it together. I mean, yes. I thought we were off to a really good, running on Clubhouse. And then all of a sudden Clubhouse became like, no house.
Clubhouse became no house. Well, you know what? It's funny you should mention Clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see that glass is half full.
Yeah, I do too.
I actually just not too long ago ran a masterclass where I shocked the world by saying I'm going to wreck or break, pick a word with a K at the end, everything that you've ever known about men's dating advice. I mean, pickup has been dead for 15 years. It's just a running joke at this point. Yep. The online dating sites and apps aren't serving anybody anymore except the online dating site and app companies. I mean, a broken clock is wrong choice. A broken clock is right twice a day, right?
Uh-huh.
So maybe you're going to meet someone here and there and go, aha, see, it works. But there were 500 times it didn't for everyone that did. We can be more efficient with it. And what I've been doing is I've been telling guys how to use their smartphones and their computers to actually meet women in real life, not depending on dating online and seeing the focal point of the whole endeavor as the app itself, being kind of getting that dopamine addiction from swiping right, swiping left, and then hoping and refreshing. That makes it technology forward. It puts the technology first, and we end up serving that. Why can't I use this wonderful technology without, swearing allegiance to AI, by the way, and being fake about it? Why don't I use this great technology to create more opportunities out there with women? And one of the ones that I mentioned actually right here, right now, as we speak, in this day and age, is Clubhouse, because it still exists. Mm-hmm. It's just down by like 80 or 90%. So if you go to like a big time local Clubhouse room, an event there that has a wide appeal, like, what's going on in Tucson, Arizona this weekend? Instead of having 800 people in that clubhouse, now you have 80. And it's a more manageable number and everybody can talk.
Right.
That is the hidden gem that is Clubhouse right now, is the fact that there are fewer people makes it more intimate. And therefore you could actually strike a conversation with someone you're meeting in a Clubhouse room more easily, as long as you're in a Clubhouse room that has a wider appeal. It's actually not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It actually can be incredibly valuable. And a lot of guys weren't thinking like that. I don't think anybody's thinking like that.
I would agree with you. And I've also seen, more growth even recently, amongst our people with more in-person connections. And
who are our people, Cindy?
our people.
Oh, you mean anybody who is
Our people. Our people.
I thought maybe you were segregating us into a specific group of
people.
badasses or otherwise. Okay.
People that are, let's just say, in the love space or in, people like you and I, like we're more apt to go to a clubhouse and maybe speak about one of these topics that might be challenging for people that are seeking to create the love and connection they want, or date, or even deepen their own relationship that they're in. I've seen more of that, like more interest in that. It's not that us people, all of us, it's not that nobody wants the content, that we're content. There's so much content out there. It's overwhelming to people. But
right.
the problem is that we're also there's a lot of in your head content, but it's not becoming embodied. It's not becoming who you be in the world, right? If it's something that lands with you. And I feel like going back to the shape-shifting conversation, we can then go, oh, that person said that. Maybe I should act like this. And maybe that would work with her.
Right.
And
right.
Women do it all the time. Or I'll hear even some of my clients that, just kind of like go into flight mode because they're overwhelmed, and they'll be regurgitating what I'm teaching them. I'm like, well, yes, that's all true, but it's got to land from the mind into who you be. And it's got to become authentic to you. And the problem is when we're shape shifting, we're not actually being authentic to who we be. And necessarily. Go ahead, Scott.
You see the gears turning in my mind, right? And all you guys listening on audio didn't see that. That's probably a good thing. It's funny, you and I, we figured each other out by now. When I have something. No, but I was listening very intently, and here's what I've noticed: people are, the post-COVID social muscle atrophy thing is gone. We're all ready to be social again.
Yeah.
I've been doing infield weekends with guys, and the women are perky and fun and cute and adorable again. We aren't scared of each other. People are less easily offended. People are sick of the whole political melee. People just want to get along, live their lives, have fun. Yeah. And it's real. But people are still starving for that connection that perhaps is still absent since COVID. They haven't rediscovered it yet. So we have a situation where people are starving for a community, but people more than ever, especially with all the media, social media, and all the BS we're fed online and on TV, man, just give me some truth. Give me some authenticity. And that's exactly what you're talking about is we, at the same time, we want community and authenticity. So if you start showing up at a place like Clubhouse or, even a house party, right, in real life, and you're trying to be something you're not, you're really blowing a solid chance to create community by being who you are. I think who you are is going to be good enough more than ever before. I mean, bigotry is down. Your sexual orientation, your race, where you come from, people are less inclined to prejudge you based on that because we live in the year 2025. All that's wonderful. So no matter who you are, what you're about, you're more likely to be accepted by a wider variety of people as long as you're willing to be authentic. There's this return to authenticity and shape shifting. I almost called it something else, which probably is more accurate. Shape shifting is is inaccurate. I mean, who am I talking to? I mean, I don't know which version of you is going to show up if you're a shapeshifter. It's kind of like certain politicians are very good at talking to their audience in terms that they want to hear. Then they go to another whole audience in another whole state, say in a presidential cycle. Not to pick on anybody in particular, but boy, was Bill Clinton good at this.
Yeah.
I mean, he could be whatever you wanted him to be. I mean, he capitalized upon his lack of name recognition as governor of Arkansas, former governor of Arkansas, just to show up and be cool and tell people, yeah, man, I'm all over that. That's what I'm about. Yeah, vote for me and I'll do that. Let me play some saxophone for you and be cool. And then he would go on MTV and say one thing, and then he would go to the AARP convention and say something completely different. And sometimes they were at odds, but nobody cared because, first of all, we didn't live in that media-rich a society just yet.
Right.
And everybody just liked him and voted for him.
Right. Right. Well, he was very charismatic, too,
yes,
with his ability to speak into whatever the thing that he was, the point that the people wanted to hear at the time. Right. This is all politics.
You shouldn't be able to get away with that anymore, although sometimes they do.
Yeah.
But you bring up a great point that if you're super charismatic and likable and have this drawing in power to get people to follow you and want to know more about you and be more like you, then you can get away with the shape-shifting when it comes to policy or your belief system or, Lord forbid, character. But I do think those of us here in the real world, us, our people, as you say, normies, we do better to have good character and know what we believe, why we believe it, so that our belief system is consistent, and then our thoughts and our actions are consistent with that, so people know who they're dealing with. Because when we know who we're dealing with, we're going to trust them more. We're going to trust our rapport with them better, right? Otherwise, they may just sound like a cheesy used car salesman. This guy isn't being, he's being disingenuous. He's not being real with me. And although I just blurted out that most of us are going to be a lot more accepting of people who are different from us than we have in the past, that's a good thing. That keeps us all getting along and curious and interested in each other. I do think you're going to find your close friends and the motos, members of the other, members of the other sex who you want to be with, who you want to maybe start building a long-term relationship when you're authentic. Otherwise, it's a house of cards that's going to fall apart.
Absolutely. I mean, you brought up so many good points within
riff away
what you just shared. And something that I feel is really, really important that you shared is the fact that and this is especially true for women, so I'm speaking to you men out there, that if a woman feels like she doesn't know really what to expect from you, and if your words and actions aren't aligning, and she's, she will not be able to feel safe with you, to open up to you, to actually, even if she's someone, which I feel like so many more people are today with all the resources that we have from coaching, from, you, people like me, and to learn some skill sets, they'll just shut down. Even if they know all of it, they'll either shut down, they might open the door for you to, with sharing a standard of theirs. But if you're in your head and you're trying to go, oh, this is what she wants to hear, and I just want to get here, she's going to sense it the same exact way, because women do it too, which is what I was speaking about in a newsletter, the same exact way that you pick up on the fact that there's something you don't know exactly what it is, usually most of the time, especially early on, you're like, something doesn't feel right here. And
that's unsettling.
Yeah, it's very unsettling. And especially, men, hear me out here. Women need that presence because it's part of your masculine being. And when they feel that presence and interest, just genuine interest in who she be, from her favorite color to her favorite ice cream, as simple as that is, she feels seen. And that's a whole world that was really, I would say, in my opinion, very fractured by the pandemic time. And we're building back up to it. And then, like Scott was sharing, and I share this opinion too, is that dating sites have gotten so out of hand with people not understanding like how to actually connect, or, you've got a man on the defense because he's been hurt by the way women have treated him. You've got a woman on the other side that's, maybe over efforting, and it's just awful. It's awful.
Over efforting,
like trying to compensate for what they're not seeing a man do too. And then she's getting frustrated. She's burnt out. The guy's burnt out. And then nobody can make connection when there's really great people underneath all the defenses that are coming up.
Yeah, I hear you 100%. Key amongst what you just said is there is no way you're going to make a woman attracted to you and want more of you if you're not making her feel safe and comfortable.
Absolutely.
And if she doesn't know who the heck you are or what to expect next, if she thinks you're faking it and that authenticity is not there, you have 0% chance of any ability to attract her, is the bottom line.
Yeah, and women tend to be pretty sensitive, just like men are too. And, a woman feels it when there's, something going on. And she really, we're really good. I remember years ago, I would be in relationships and the guys would be like, "You're such a good detective." And I was like, "Yeah, because I don't feel safe."
Right.
And I didn't know how to articulate that at the time. Instead, I would just, make the joke, "Oh yeah, I'm a detective," or I just have really good intuition. And it might have been that, but it was more about, because a woman, when she hears a compliment early on, "Oh, you're so beautiful. I bet men XYZ, I bet men find you so sexy." She's going to be on the defense because the thing that she's thinking, even though we love compliments, by the way, we love them, they're fabulous, and we want to hear them not in excess or being, and I think this is another thing with the shapeshifter. A man might go, oh, sweetheart, or, "Oh, this thing," when this is your third message exchanged on an online platform.
You're the one for me, honey. I
Right.
want to marry you someday, baby. And the chick's like, "Ick, I don't even know you yet."
Right. I don't even know if you're a real person,
Well, exactly. You could be an AI bot for all she knows.
Right.
They're getting pretty realistic. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Well, you said a couple things there that I do want to make sure we cover.
Yeah.
When something isn't quite right, when you sense that there's a little bit of an agenda or some sort of authenticity, it makes you run away from that person, not run towards them. So you may think, psychologically, we as guys may think we're getting somewhere by dumping these compliments up front. But when it comes off as inauthentic, at best, the woman's thinking we have an agenda to get in her pants.
Yep.
And it's not that women don't like sex. It's just, it is exactly like going and buying a car. We want to buy the car. We just don't want to be sold at.
Right.
We don't want someone to try to butter us up in hopes that we'll give them our money. I'd rather have somebody just answer my questions about the car, relax in the fact that, hey, maybe I probably want this car, and then help me buy it. Now, see, when we shapeshift in the way you're talking about with women, it also subcommunicates to women that we don't feel like we're good enough for them. We can't show our full authentic self. Well, maybe not our full authentic self on the first date, but, at least reveal something authentic about ourselves on the first date or the first meeting, or even approaching her or talking to her online, whatever we're doing, because we're afraid of the rejection, frankly. So if we don't feel confident in our own authentic self and expressing it in any way, shape, or form, how do we expect a woman to do anything other than to follow that lead? And, you could probably say the same for women as well. We can sense when a woman's trying to perpetrate she's something that she's not. I would dare say men probably let women get away with that more than vice versa, because I don't think it's part of the attraction mechanism as much as it is for women, for a guy to be present and authentic and make her feel safe and comfortable. After all, nowadays women wear makeup. God knows what she looks like underneath it all anyway, right? So, I think men are accustomed to a little bit of fronting by a woman up front, and we can get to know her, when we wake up next to her someday and she doesn't have any makeup on. I don't think it's as big a deal, but since we're talking to men here, it makes it a darned big deal. The other thing that you mentioned before we go on, and you mentioned this in passing, and I think we should just drive this point home. It deserves camping out on a little bit. Women feeling seen and heard. Men are infamous for not seeing or hearing women, respecting them at all. Their thoughts don't matter. Their opinions don't matter. This is basically what drove feminism, right? This is the big complaint against men. Mansplaining. We're not taking women seriously. When I go out in field with guys, there are a couple things we notice. First of all, when women are not getting a whole lot of attention from men, okay, they inherently distrust any attention you're giving them at all. They're like, okay, is this guy going to try to get me onto his downline or something? Because guys don't approach me. I'm unattractive, I'm uninteresting, I'm boring, I'm out of shape. Whatever the woman is that is causing guys not to approach her, she feels that deeply when you approach her. Like, there's got to be an ulterior motive. This isn't the proverbial clock being right twice a day. Now, when women are, and this is the way I'm going to put it, generally found to be more attractive by a larger cross section of men. Okay, these are the pretty girls, the sexy girls. They're used to socializing with men and understanding it's not a ruse. Men like me. But they are also used to men focusing perhaps on their looks and trying to run game on them. I just talked about how pickup is dead as a doornail. My goodness, it was probably a non-starter to run game on women to begin with, which I'm sure you're going to agree with vociferously. But it works even less now. And it is like magic, Cindy, to go out in the field with a guy and say, watch this. And I'll go and I'll talk to a woman and I'll actually ask her about something and she'll talk about it and I'll hear her. And, my favorite method nowadays is to run improv with her. Yes. And whatever she says, I'm going to build on. Now, if she says you're an ugly little dork, I'm not going to agree with her, obviously. But, the principles of improv are as if someone brings up a topic, don't block it and change it to something different or tell her she's stupid and we're going to talk about something different. You don't cock block the conversation. Okay. And you watch even very desirable women, even on the surface desirable, perk up and they almost can't believe they matter, that you're hearing them, that you're recognizing them, right? And then you can make, observations about, the surroundings or what they're wearing or what's the significance of this tattoo. And next thing you know, they just feel like they matter. And it is like catnip. Not only because everything you're talking about is true inherently, intrinsically, but it's especially true because of the time milieu we're living in. Post-COVID, in combination with all of the glut of fakeness on social media and the marketing bonanza that we are hit with like an onslaught every day.
God. We can't even go there. Yeah.
Just give me some truth. So when you as a guy approach a woman and actually show any semblance of concern over who she might be, any curiosity about what's ticking inside her brain, it's magic. But we got to get out of this shape-shifting role where we're thinking, okay, how am I going to impress this woman? Do I talk about my boat, my Harvard degree? I will tell you this. I can't think of a single time talking to women out in field on 10 plus lives with guys where my income has ever come up, where I went to college came up, where what car I drive came up. And I will say this at the risk of people not believing me. My age has never come up. I've never had a 23-year-old woman say, how old are you? It just never comes up because we keep the conversations human and light and fun, and women are all about that because they feel seen and heard, and that's what makes women feel safe and protected. When women feel good, at the risk of being kind of crass, but I know you and I go way back, they'll make you feel good.
Absolutely.
In more ways than one.
Absolutely. Like women, we're nurturers by nature anyway, right? So we desire to have that give and receive relationship. And the problem has been is that there's been programs in our society dividing us.
And making us transactional.
Right.
Here's how to get what you want from somebody.
It's all about that. The division is all about the transaction. Well, if he does this, well, I should do this, right? Cindy, I should get him a gift since he bought me dinner, or I should have sex with him. And it's crazy.
There's nothing like there's no better sex than dutiful sex.
Right. No, it's
now,
not sexy at all. But the problem is that coming from the transactional place, the female will feel like, oh, maybe that's what I need to do. Or by the second or third date, I sleep with that person because they purchased me a coffee.
That's some pretty cheap sex right there.
Right. Scott's no.
Come on, let me buy you more than a coffee. My goodness, have a little self-respect.
Yeah,
right?
Let me at least get you lunch, dinner, maybe an appetizer. Anyway.
An appetizer. The appetizer would be the great conversation, not anything edible.
But that's the thing. That's been the problem is we've been so transactional that we haven't been present with what our standards are, what our desires are, and be able to just speak about them and get to know the other person as a human without being under this guise that if they don't check this XYZ thing right now, they're garbage. And also to expect that the other person is a dating expert. That's the thing that, that really gets to me with my women sometimes. Like I start with love. It's like, well, wait a second. What did you want to feel? Like I'll do a little exercise with them. And this could help with your men too. It's like, they'll go, oh, well, he didn't ask me anything about myself. I go, what was he talking about? Oh, well, he was talking about like how he created this and this big thing, this. I go, he was just trying to let you know that he could provide and protect you. He just doesn't know how. And
it's funny because
nervous to boot.
Well, yeah, there is the nerve factor.
Mm-hmm.
Going right along with what you're saying is I believe that people expect the other gender to have perfect social skills, especially men. We think women have all been socialized to have perfect social skills. And here's the thing. The irony is when they don't, we blame ourselves because, oh my God, she wasn't impeccably skilled with her social ability and acumen. Therefore, she rejected me. That must have been her thinking something badly about me. And that's so messed up. We just need to relax and be human with each other.
Well,
Kind of what you're talking about here is like shape shifting shadow dancing.
yeah.
If I may coin something so bizarre,
Shape-shifting
what we're
shadow
doing
dancing,
is
I
we
like
see
that.
the other person acting and going, oh, what do I do to match that energy or to be more attracted to them? And they're in turn shape-shifting. And what if they're shape-shifting in accordance with another shapeshifter? Then the authenticity is just meta level thrown awry, right? And that's just so
Well,
messed up.
and
And the
that,
beauty of it is, beauty of it is everything you're talking about, doing this right, relaxing, listening, showing up authentically, showing up ready to see and hear the other person, to share, to learn mutually without trying to impress each other. Cindy, that's the easy button. That is so far less complicated than trying to make up all these steps as you go along and try to remember what you did that was fake last time the next time so you don't come off like a liar. A pox on all that. Authenticity is where it's at.
mm-hmm.
And it's easy.
It's very simple, and it's in bite-sized pieces, guys. It's literally like, this is who I am, but you've got to know who you are.
Character.
And I feel like a lot of times with the shape shifting and who we try to be, who a lot of people try to be, and I've been there in my life too. So I'm not trying to, we don't sit here going, oh, we've always had it all figured out. I really come to you humbly, understanding the temptation to go, well, maybe they won't like me if they know who I really am, and shape shift into a version of you who you think will attract XYZ. It always explodes. It doesn't work.
Always.
And
it's like a bad lie.
Right. But the problem is what you were saying, Scott, is when two people are doing that and then they start to, if they really truly take the time to get to know one another and they start to see more, they're usually blown out of the water of who that person is if they go, oh, wait a second, I'm actually going to take away my shapeshifter, bring down my walls, and see the human. But what I teach, and I know what Scott teaches, is to start off as your human self. And I say this to my women, I teach my women, and this is true. You are the emotional leader. And the problem is I see this a lot, is women are looking for a man to just give them the permission to do that. When you're in your power, you can do that anyway. And if that person in front of you, the man, isn't showing up safely, she can distinguish that early on. And
that's an incredibly powerful statement. If you want women to be authentic, gentlemen, you lead by being authentic. It's going to be garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
You're going to start acting fake, then she's going to start fronting. Meanwhile, if you're both being fake with each other, how do you even measure any kind of compatibility in the short term or the long term? If we face up to our authentic selves, if we have self-work, let's get after it. But as long as we're connectable, as I talk about in my Invincible program, we have those check boxes of major traits most people will get along with. We all like honest people, not liars. We like upbeat people, not Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. We like people who are on time, not flaky. There are several things. If you check those boxes as a human, you're going to get along with more people in general.
Right.
If you've been attentive to that, you show up, the two of you are either going to get along or you're not, and that's got to be okay. It's not acceptance, rejection. It's not a value judgment on your intrinsic worth as a human. We've saved some time here. We've dodged the proverbial bullet. Now go meet someone you get along with. And I would add, my promise to you guys is if you are showing up as your authentic, connectable self, you will not only be making women feel safe and comfortable, you'll also be more likely to connect more quickly with women who are like you, who are one of you, who are on your team. You're going to end up with more women in your life and better women who you like more in your life than if you were trying to be the shapeshifter. It's a counterproductive strategy to be a shapeshifter.
It is. It's another way of having walls up and, really staying in that lack and fear mentality. And, also allowing your limiting beliefs to lead the way. And so if that's something that you're doing, then I would say the invitation would be to go deeper. Wow. In your inner world about what's causing and creating this, and who am I committed to being instead? And
that's powerful.
Yeah.
That's the secret of the universe when it comes to attracting women. I think you nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a great show. I mean, some of these guys probably feel like they've been drinking from the fire hose here because it's just been nonstop content, full blast.
I could go on for hours with
I know. But I mean, the gist of it being, guys, we're trying to be something we're not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work in our favor. Psychologically, it's easy to tell ourselves it will work in our favor, but it's really not going to. And the reasons for that are primal. They're the basis for sexual attraction, because if you're trying to be something you're not, hoping she'll be impressed, she's not feeling seen, she's not feeling heard, because you're inside your head. It's still all about you, right? And also she doesn't feel safe because she doesn't know who the heck you are. Yeah, powerful stuff. Cindy, I want to send these guys to your website. I know you got a new goodie for them. You've been on several times.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give them the same URL and then change what's behind that URL, because some of these guys are going to listen to your previous episodes and fully expect what you promised them there. So this time it's going to be mountaintoppodcast.com/Cindy Olien, CYNDIOLIN, 9 letters, right?
Yeah.
And that's your full name. When they go there, you've got something for them. What do you got?
Yeah, I've got, things that really work with women to get them to open up to you. And it's simple, guys. And if you utilize this authentically, you'll see the right kinds of women. And I say the same thing to women, by the way. When it's when you're showing up authentically, yes, you are going to have some women go, nope, not for me. I'm committed to being a shapeshifter or fake relationships. Whatever.
That could be why it didn't work.
Yes.
Because of their commitment to be fake.
Totally. It's like a man that's not committed to being in his healthy masculine leadership. If he's not committed to that, and a woman calls that forward in him, and this is what I'm talking about in my free gift, then he's just going to go away too. So you guys, and I know if you're here, you're listening to Scott, you're all about this. And to give you some support and openings, whether it's in the wild, in person, or online, to create real, live, authentic connections with the right kind of women, I'm going to give you some ways that women, just like Scott was saying, will open up like a flower and want to really connect with you. And women that you might be going, oh man, she might be out of my league. Oh no, because she's desiring that kind of leadership and connection from a man. And
sometimes the hotter and sexier she is, to a larger cross section of men, the more starving she is for someone to see her and hear her above and beyond her looks.
Absolutely, because that
crazy.
She's felt objectified, and that's been a thing for women. And it's not that, women don't desire sex and all of that. It's just, it's got to be paced. And that's
PACED, not PASTE.
Right, not paste. Paste.
I mean, I used to eat paste before puberty.
Oh
So
my
I
gosh.
just want to be
Were
clear
you
there.
one of those guys that ate paint chips or something? Anyway, paste.
I actually have childhood memories of picking paint chips and eating them. Maybe that's why I turned out the way I am.
Well, it's not necessarily a bad. It's worked for you, Scott.
Thank you. I stole all of your thunder. Gentlemen, what you should do is you should steal all of Cindy's incredible tips to help you with women, because she knows what she's talking about, and she is a woman. MountaintopPodcast.com/Cindy Olin, CYNDIOLIN is the place to go to get all those goodies. Cindy, it's always a pleasure. You and I always have fun conversations.
We do.
And they kind of straddle that line between being silly and fun while being content rich, which is,
right.
I mean, that's the holy grail here. Great. Thank you again.
Is. Yes. Thank you. It's always fun. I appreciate you. And
likewise,
all the work that you do in the world. It's awesome.
Yeah. And you're making the world a better place, mostly for women, which we guys are also very appreciative of as well.
Yeah. Ditto.
We want to be seen and heard too.
Exactly. Yeah. We all want that at the core of things. It's, learning to collaborate and work together and really build that trust with one another. Yeah.
So we're going to have you back soon so we can do it again.
All right. Sounds great.
Fantastic. You're welcome. And gentlemen, if you've not been to mountaintoppodcast.com recently, check out our 3 longtime sponsors, Jocko Willink's Company Origin in Maine, the Keyport, and Hero Soap. Guys, if you haven't tried Hero Soap's shampoo, it comes in a bar. And you're thinking, well, my goodness, this is going to be gone by tomorrow morning. No, it lasts like a month. It's crazy. You use less. Less is more when it comes to Hero Soap shampoo. You don't have to fumble with a big bottle and pour it all over yourself. Man, just a few swipes on your head, it lathers right up. You don't have to lather and rinse and repeat. You simply lather and rinse and you're done. Great stuff and fantastic scents from the folks over at Hero Soap. You should try that out. All 3 of our sponsors are available to you from mountaintoppodcast.com. Also, gentlemen, have you checked out my Substack yet? Substack is like the new school for blogging. It's like I have my own magazine and I'm putting articles up there and I'm making them very different than my newsletters. And here's how. I'm talking about the truth that I don't think the newsletter list can handle. And, I trust you guys. I think you're great, but I don't want to bombard all 60,000 of you with stuff that your ears might bleed if you hear. If you go to Substack, the beauty of it is you went looking for it. So don't come to me when you don't like it, because if you can't handle the truth, you don't want to go to my Substack. But here's a little hint. If you like this podcast, you're probably going to dig the Substack too. And I try to be extra funny there too. It's always laced with humor. And that's at mountaintoppodcast.com/Substack, or just Scott McKay, my name on Substack. I always like hearing from you guys. Get on my calendar at mountaintoppodcast.com for free. Talk to me for 25 minutes about what's on your mind. Give me your ideas for the show. Give me your feedback on the show. And if there's any need in your life to put together a program to help you get from point A to B with women, I'm there for you for that as well. That's what I do for a living as a coach. Also, some of you guys may not know this. I've been doing a whole lot of career coaching, entrepreneurship coaching. Some of you guys have been laid off from the government because of the DOGE cuts, and I've been helping, lots of you guys reinvent yourself, not working for the man or working for the government, but actually going out and living the dream and building that lifestyle business that you've always wanted to. That's what Emily and I did 20 years ago. I'm there for you to do that right here, right now, today. It all starts when you get on my calendar at mountaintoppodcast.com. And until I talk to you again real soon, this is Scott McKay from X&Y Communications in San Antonio, Texas. Be good out there.
The Mountaintop Podcast is produced by X&Y Communications. All rights reserved worldwide. Be sure to visit www.mountaintoppodcast.com for show notes. And while you're there, sign up for the free X&Y Communications newsletter for men. This is Ed Roy Odom speaking for the Mountaintop Podcast.